Fourth race, the 1998 and second annual Trotting Classic Series Championship Final. And they're off and trotting. Good starts at the inside for Super High Test and Good Times gunning for the lead. There's Georgia Limited sent to the top by LaChante's Divinator was off stride. The battle on for the lead around the first turn. Georgia Limited takes over from Good Times, who let him go. And on the inside, third is Super High Test. Glory's Comet settled away. And fourth, T. Cody, the outside fifth. Cupid Albee is sixth. Super Toy was away in seventh. Raging Samantha is eighth. And back down trotting as the trailer after the break early on was Divinator. The first quarter lead to Georgia Limited in 28-3. Georgia Limited leads them in single file fashion as they prepare to pass the stands for the first time. Good Times trots in to be second. Racing along in third, that is Super High Test, and Glory's Comet is fourth. T. Cody is fifth. Here's Cupid Albee leading the outer charge. On her cover comes Super Toy. Second from last, Raging Samantha, and Divinator trails. The halfway point leader, still under a firm rein, is Georgia Limited, and it's on the board in 59 seconds. The first half mile, second stanza was 30-2. They prepare to move around the turn and into the Mohawk backstretch. Setting the tempo is Georgia Limited. Good Times taking a great trip. Cupid Albee the tough way first over on the inside fourth. As they turn to the backstretch is Super High Test. Glory's Comet at the inside fifth. At the flank of Super Toy from sixth. T. Cody is seventh. Stablemate Raging Samantha is eighth on the outside. Spotted third over and taken to the outside from the rear. There goes Divinator right back up into the thick of it. The three-quarter time was 1:29-3. Cupid Albee is trying to trot on past. Super Toy now on the outside is gaining second. Back at the inside third, Georgia Limited, and Good Times has found a seam and is brought to the outside from fourth. On the inside fifth, moving on down to three quarters, was Super High Test. Raging Samantha moves up on the outside. Third from last, Divinator, then T. Cody. Glory's Comet took an inside shuffle all the way to the rear of the field. Trying to get away on them on the final turn is Trond Smed's Hammer with Super Toy. Good Times is now setting his sights on that leader. Cupid Albee back in third. Raging Samantha is fourth. Divinator fifth. The mile time was 1:20, make it 1:57-1. The last quarter of 27-3 in the mile rating. Into the stretch in the 1998 and second annual Trotting Classic Series Final. Good Times has come on past for the lead. Glory's Comet shuffled to last on the final turn, is gaining ground. T. Cody in between. Raging Samantha fourth. Campbell again. Glory's Comet is going to pull this one off. Glory's Comet last to first victory to win the Trotting Classic Final of 1998 over T. Cody and Good Times in 2:41 flat. John Campbell with Glory's Comet. To Mohawk's winners enclosure, 6 Glory's Comet, Balanced Image, 7-year-old bay gelding from Lumax Glory. Owned by Bryland's stable of Erin, Ontario, trained by George Peters and driven to victory by John Campbell. That's the natural hat trick, 3 consecutive winners on the program. 11-24 this year for Glory's Comet, who was also the 1998 Horseman's Trot Series champion when he passed $1 million lifetime back in January, but that was ages ago. This is a big feather in his cap as well. The second annual and 1998 Trotting Classic Series Championship in 2:41 flat. With the winners enclosure presentations, Mr. Kurt Green, the executive director of the Trotting Classic Series, and Hugh Mitchell, the Vice President of Standardbred Racing Operations for the Ontario Jockey Club. And stand by from trackside. We'll go down shortly for John Campbell's next interview.
Right, and John Campbell, of course, winning driver on my left. A couple of quick comments here from George. First of all, Glorious Comet, his last couple of starts just hasn't been himself. Big turnaround tonight for the old boy, though. What was the difference?
I think the difference, like Doug Berkeley had him down in New Jersey. He did a great job with him, but that New Jersey racing is really tough on them. He came back, he was tired, he was a little thin. We took him home, we beefed him up a bit and give him some freshening up, if you want to call it, as best we could. And he's just, I think he was okay the last start. He just wasn't the trip we needed, and it just didn't work out. That's the way it goes. That's horse racing. And tonight, probably that wasn't the trip he needed either, but it worked out really well.
Not too often you're going to see odds of 9-2 on Glorious Comet in any kind of racetrack, but especially here on his home territory.
I don't get it, but I don't bet him, so I don't really pay that much attention. But I know if I had been betting him over the years, everybody, they leave him alone sometimes. Sometimes they get at him pretty good, but sometimes they leave him alone. So.
Okay, congratulations, George Peters, winning trainer with Glorious Comet. We'll send it over to John Campbell. 3 wins in a row on the night. Pretty good night at the office so far for Mr. Campbell. John, you got shuffled back the last, and as George said, Glorious Comet had a big bend in his neck coming out of the last turn. You had a lot of ground to make up. Did you think you could get there?
No, going down the backstretch, I didn't think we had any chance at all. Really, his strategy didn't work out well at all when the inner tier stopped so bad. And like you said, he was backed up the last and doubled up. And but once he got clear, he did a lot of trotting and made up a lot of ground. And he trotted right through the wire. He trotted fast and wide for a long time. But he's always raced good off cover at the Meadowlands with that long stretch there. He seemed to be better with racing off cover. And once he got clear, he was really trotting through the stretch.
You've had a chance to drive this trotter many times. How would you compare tonight's effort to any of the times you've sat behind this horse?
Well, he raced some really good races at the Meadowlands as well. This is certainly one of the top efforts, but he's just a pleasure to drive because he gives you an effort every time out. He's just an old campaigner. He knows what he's out there for, and you really appreciate a horse like that that has all the mileage on him, that he hasn't earned the money and is still going strong and racing at this level.
Okay, so a couple of busy gentlemen still have lots of racing to do. John Campbell, of course, with a full slate of drives to come, and of course George Peters later on tonight will send out a starter in the Robert Stewart final for the two-year-old filly trotters. Already had her in tonight. So